Welcome to Terror in Bloom, the podcast that brings you voices from the first wave of the novel coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic from Maryland and across the U.S. On episode 8 of Terror in Bloom, interviewees discuss their view of the outcome and aftermath of COVID-19.
Attention! Shelter-in-place orders are in effect for Maryland.
People will really think about some of the mundane things that we take for granted, like going to the grocery store, going to the drugstore, and really think through, do they truly need something? You know, is it worth the risk? I think early on I would hope that people think about that. Is it worth the risk to put myself around other people in the event that they could have it, you know? I think some of the other things that could change is, just travel. I feel like that's going to change as far as how that looks. I wouldn't be surprised if people are made to wear masks on an airplane when they're contained in closed spaces. Things like that is what I could see.
There will be a new normal. I know things will probably go back to how they were because we'll all wax off on stuff because that's kind of what we do. But I would really like to get rid of the masks. I know we have to wear them, but I would really like to I don't know how people wear them all day long. I don't know how they can keep them on all day long. You know, whether it's students or it's people at the grocery store, they have them on 8 hours a day. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how. I have it on like an hour or so in the grocery store, and I come on, okay, this thing's off. I get in my car and I take it off. But it is what it is, I guess, and we'll adapt. Maybe we'll come out of it, all of this stronger.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully we'll come out of it stronger, and I don't know. But there will be a new normal. Don't know what it is yet, but we'll have a new normal, and and that's it. And the social, it's tough because my husband's family, his family, they're a huggy family. So when you get together, everybody's giving everybody a hug. Well, now you can't do that. You're like, oh, hi. How you doing? You can't get near anybody. You can't, do anything. So it's, it is what it is, I guess. Yeah. Some people still gather. We haven't really been out much. We haven't been with friends. I'm not ready to go out to eat in a restaurant yet. Because you hear different things, and so I thought, I'm not ready for that yet. I'll just wait a little bit.
I think that a lot of people are going to take this experience and it's going to have changed the way that we handle things. I think that the environment, it was actually huge for the world. The environment itself has made some progress back to a healthy place during these, almost 6 months now since this started. Whether or not it's going to be forever, I don't know. Humans, as a rule, have a pretty selective memory, and they like to cut out the bad stuff. They repress it, and so I think that it's going to take time, but I think we're going to be essentially back to normal at some point. People want that, and they are going to do whatever it takes to make that happen, because that's what people crave is normalcy.
There's a ton of places where there's, people move around. I mean, that's just a fact of life. People move around. So I don't know what the real estate market's going to be like when literally no one can afford a New York apartment, which the majority of people do not. The majority of people here in this country, in this city, any given place, don't make a lot of money, and they don't have a lot of job security, and they don't have great insurance, or if they have insurance at all, and they don't necessarily have resources they need in their communities for special needs, or for which the majority of people do not. The majority of people here in this country, in this city, any given place, don't make a lot of money, and they don't have a lot of job security, and they don't have great insurance, or if they have insurance at all, and they don't necessarily have resources they need in their communities for special needs, or for austerity doesn't work, and other countries are discovering that too, but they don't care, and apparently we don't care either. And we cannot have the whole country with, you know, the unemployment rate we have right now, and the illness, you know, and terrible illnesses debilitating people, that leftovers from COVID. I mean, people are going to be sick for months who get over COVID. Some of them, they're not doing well necessarily. It's taking them ages and ages to recover. You can't look for a job when you're messed up like that, if you lost it. And there's all kinds of aspects to this virus. This is just like one of the worst case scenarios for an infectious disease. I mean, it just is, because it doesn't just do one thing. It does a bunch of things. Like the Great Influenza destroyed you from the inside out, because what it did was it killed a lot of really healthy young people, you know, in the prime of their life, by overactivating their immune systems. Their immune systems just went nuts anytime this flu hit their bodies, and that's what killed them. They drowned in their own lungs because body, you know, overreacted. So part of what's happening with COVID is clearly that. But there's so many other aspects. Now, apparently the blood clotting thing is also found in certain types of influenza or certain other kind of SARS type illnesses. But we haven't, I think the scale of it is just something we haven't seen before. And yeah, it's terrifying. That's the thing that's scaring so many people now who are paying attention, like you are clearly, is just, you know, what can it do, and to who is it going to do it, and to how many of them is it going to do it? That blood clotting thing, that's got a lot of people freaked out. Yeah, not good. And, you know, we don't know the risk factors that made that happen to them. Now they're looking at genetic, you know, factors, like, oh, well, are these people at higher risk because of some genetic? It's going to be ages before we know anything. And I think it's going to be, unfortunately, a long time before we have a successful vaccine, partly because of that. I mean, we still don't have vaccines for a lot of other diseases. We still don't have a common cold vaccine. So I don't know what we're going to do. I honestly don't know. And I guess we'll all find out together.
I know, you know, after I was here for 9/11, we had a blackout, we had Sandy, and you, as much as you think you're going to remember everything, you don't. You know, and so it's not a bad idea to get it down on video.
How it will end, I don't know, but I believe it will end better if people are permitted to go back to work and business resumes.
I would say that the best thing about quarantine for me has been that I've gotten a chance to slow down and really think about who I am, what I want to do, and become very reflective as a person. So I would encourage everyone else to take this opportunity, and how everyone has adjusted to quarantine, and really champion yourself on getting through it, and being patient, and make the best of the time that you have, you know, with your family or wherever you are, because this is a once in a lifetime experience, hopefully, and we'll get to move forward and do, you know, bigger, better things from here. So yeah, that's it for me.